Good morning, chaps, and welcome back to the surgery. This is Doc speaking. Now, this morning I've put a little video together about loadouts and improvising when you've got the incorrect loadout or not the loadout that's going to suit. Now, when you come to your first screen, which obviously is your map screen, if you press your X button, you can go to your loadout screen. Okay, that's where you can change basically what you want to carry. Now, as an engineer, in my eyes, there's two ways to go. You've got your land attack, you've got your air attack. So on this one, as you can see, we're selecting the Stinger, which is your basic air vehicle, and as the secondary, we're going to be carrying the landmine. Now, obviously, landmines, you can drop them anywhere. The Stinger, it's your basic air weapon. Yeah, it's a lock-on weapon. The only thing you've got to bear in mind is you've got to reduce the range. If you're any further than 350 clicks away, it'll struggle to lock on. Now, that one I was lucky. One hit kill. Normally, as you'll see, we're going to change to the Javelin now. These weapons, you'll tend to find it's 2 to 3 hits to kill them. Your first one, you will immobilize it. Yeah, you'll basically take it down for a short period of time. It's your second or your third shot, depending on the damage the vehicle's already took, which will actually take it down. As you can see with that one, that was 2 hits. This one's 2 hits as well, and what you've got to also bear in mind is get the first shot off, then release the trigger button, and then get back on it, so that your weapon reloads. There's no point in actually sitting there watching down the scope. And the other thing you've got to bear in mind is when there's a group of vehicles, especially with the Javelin, you don't get this with air vehicles, it can be hard to lock on to a single one. But you tend to find the blast damage, if they're that close, will take the vehicle out that you're aiming for. We're going to go now for the Stinger. But like you'll find very, very often, you come to areas where that's not going to work. So this is where you've got to improvise. Now, at this point, I didn't think this was going to work. This guy here, sitting in the tank, the only thing I could do was try and trap him. Anyway, we got him trapped under fire, and at this point I thought, nah. And then he went to drive off. Happy days. You'll get that quite often, and that's battlefield moments for you. Now, on some maps, it's hard to choose whether you're going to go for a Stinger or a Javelin. So what I tend to do with this one, put the rocket launcher on. If you're unsure, rocket launcher can be a lifesaver. Now, the thing with the rocket launcher is it's not a lock-on. But then saying that, it doesn't stipulate whether it's going to be an air weapon or a ground weapon. And it can be used in pretty much most situations against ground forces and so on and so forth. Now, in a situation like this, a Stinger wouldn't have worked. You wouldn't have had the time to do it. So that is where a rocket launcher comes in really, really handy. Stinger would have worked perfectly in this one, but I just didn't have one with me. Right, I hope you've learnt a little bit from that. I have. But what we've got to also bear in mind, guys, we've still got the 10 million dog tag challenge running. Now, that runs until 8 AM on the 11th of Feb. 10 million. So I'm taking part. Hope you guys are. Speak to you soon.